up, everyone? It's your girl Shay here, and I'm back with another video for you guys. And as you can tell by the title, I'm doing a manga review on the very first volume of the manga Komi Can't Communicate. And the manga Komi Can't Communicate is about a girl by the name of Komi, whom is in high school, and basically her dream is to make 100 friends. The only thing though is that Komi is suffering from social anxiety, so it's very hard for her to talk to people, and it makes her come off as very snobbish or like she's greater than everybody else. But also a lot of people truly adore her and actually think she's very pretty and very beautiful and want to kind of be friends with her, or they kind of keep her at a distance because of her looks. So it's a really weird way of how people actually look at this character Komi in general. But what the first volume is pretty much about is that you actually meet a character by the name of Tadaho. I'm probably saying his name incorrectly, but he is more so like the main character in this manga besides Komi. And basically he's starting out high school as well, and he also just wants to make friends. But one of the interesting things is that when it's starting out, it's basically categorizing a lot of people in the school based off of their social cues. So for example, another one of his friends that you meet is Najima, and Najima is put as like very social, like a very social individual. And this is seen throughout the first volume because it is seen that he can actually make friends very, very easily. And then you also have a character named Agari, and Agari is someone that's more so like socially anxious. So for her, it's not difficult for her to make friends, but it is a lot more difficult for her to kind of talk in front of people, kind of like Komi, but not to the extreme. I like to say that Agari probably has more so issues with anxiety, more so than like social anxiety overall, just because of some of the symptoms that she seems to administer. But anyway, Tadaho's pretty much purpose in the first volume is to help Komi to make friends. Like, he's one of the first people to actually figure out what's actually going on with Komi, while a lot of other people just feel like she's very pretty and just kind of write her off and let her do her own thing. Tadaho actually figures out that Komi is suffering some social anxiety, which is why she doesn't talk to people. And throughout the first volume, you kind of see her take strides into her actually, you know, learning how to make friends. The two friends she ultimately meets, or actually three, are Tadaho, his friend Najima, and you also, of course, have Agari, which are the three people that she pretty much ends up being friends with. Interestingly enough, the character Najima, though, doesn't really want to be friends with Komi at the beginning. He basically explains that he tried to be friends with Komi before, and Komi completely blew him off. And he basically thought that this was because Komi just wasn't a very nice person. But in reality, it was because of Komi's social anxiety. She was unable to actually communicate with him, which was very interesting. And Agari just kind of wants to be Komi's dog, which is kind of strange, but that's okay, I guess. I also have to say, in the manga, I do feel like the character Najima is a perfect portrayal, and let me say this correctly, although I'm probably saying this wrong. Najima is male in the manga, but dresses up as a female in the first volume. I don't know how that goes for the rest of the volumes of the series, because there's a total of 4 at the moment, but in the first one, Najima is male, but does dress up as female. And I feel like that's the first time in a manga that I've actually kind of seen that. And that's just me. I guess it's just based off of the mangas that I tend to read a lot, but that's one of the first ones that I've actually really seen. Now, I do have to say that I feel like this is a manga that I feel like would make a great anime. I feel like just because of how it's written, so I feel like each individual chapter is kind of written like it could be a 5 or 10 minute episode of an anime series, because it is like short snippets into Komi, like not really getting over her social anxiety, but kind of like little snippets of like how she's becoming friends with each of these individuals, and like little things that happen in class or when she's outside of class and things like that. So I feel like this would work very well as an anime. And I know a lot of people say that about a lot of mangas, but this one specifically kind of reads to me like Lucky Star or Azumanga Daioh as well. Those kind of shows, I feel like this, like Komi could be just like those. So that's one thing I have to say right off of the bat. Now I do have to say for the first volume of how it's portraying these anxieties, like social anxiety and just anxiety in general, I do have to say I don't relate to it. So I know I myself do have issues with anxiety, so I more so relate to the character Agari with her anxiety, like how she didn't want to say out loud to the class that gym was going to be taking place like inside of a different room, and how she says she gets stomach aches and she gets cramps when she gets nervous, and that's literally me when I get anxious. So I kind of more so dealt with her character, or related to her character. When it comes to Komi and her issues with social anxiety, I don't feel like they're portraying it that well in the first volume. Once again, I don't know how it's going to be portrayed in the second, third, and fourth, but I have to say so far in this first volume, it kind of more so comes off as her just being more shy, but just a really like severe form of shyness. I don't see the social anxiety aspect of what she's going through just yet, and maybe that's just because of it being in a manga and not in an anime, but that's just personally for me how I feel about it. Because when a lot of people think of social anxiety, they feel like they're just a fear of them like being, not fear of them being around people, but a fear of like social situations. But it doesn't feel like Komi has that issue. She has issues communicating, yes, with her peers, but it doesn't feel like it's social anxiety. It just feels like shyness. And I know that sounds terrible, so I do apologize for any of those that are suffering from social anxiety and do relate to Komi as a character. But once again, this is not a disorder that I myself really suffer from. I'm an introvert, just on a regular, so social situations I don't always enjoy, or like big groups, so that's why it's hard for me to relate and see if truly what Komi is going through is social anxiety. But that just means I might have to look up more information or research about social anxiety overall to see if they're portraying it correctly. But once again, this is just the first volume, so I could completely change my mind about how I feel about this come the second volume, especially after I do more research concerning social anxiety and how that kind of is and how it kind of comes out in people. But overall, I do have to say I'm actually pretty much enjoying this manga. I do have to say it's very different from how I thought. I originally thought it was going to really be from Komi's point of view, but to see it be more from Tadao's point of view is very interesting for me. But I find that that's kind of a good thing considering what Komi is going through. So I do, enjoy that aspect. And overall, I can't wait to read the second volume. I can't wait to see what new people Komi meets, and I can't wait to see if she actually does, conquer her social anxiety or learn how to control it better. And it's kind of great to know that she has this goal of making 100 friends. So that's how I feel about it. I do recommend reading it. Like I said before, I am reading Komi Can't Communicate digitally via the Viz Manga app. And I do have to pay for these volumes because they're not listed as like me just being able to read them straight from the app. Or not really read them straight from the app, but read the chapters individually off the app. I do have to buy the entire volume, which is only $6.99. So it is actually a little bit cheaper than me actually buying the physical copy of the manga. And yes, you do have to pay for the Viz Media app, manga app, which is $1.99 a month, I believe. So yes, definitely check out the Viz Media manga app if you haven't already, because that's how I am currently reading this manga. But also, if you've read Komi Can't Communicate, please let me know your thoughts and feelings down below. Please don't do any spoilers for later volumes for me, because I do plan to continue reading this, but just let me know how you feel about the first volume overall if you've read it. Let me know if you agree with me. Let me know if you disagree with me. If you're someone who has social anxiety and you've read Komi Can't Communicate, let me know if you guys feel this is being portrayed in a correct way, or if you feel like they kind of gotten it a bit wrong. And just, let me know your thoughts overall, and I cannot wait to read them. Of course, like always, there will be links down below for all my social media accounts, my Instagram, my Twitter, and of course, obviously my blog as well. So please check me out on there. And of course, like always, please give this video a thumbs up and share it if you want to share it with others that you think will enjoy this review or will enjoy just watching my channel in general. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe. And of course, there's a bell icon down below, so please click click the bell icon if you're interested in getting notifications of whenever I post new videos, which are 3 times a week, which are every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. So please check me out as well for there. But that's my video, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And like I always tell you guys, stay positive and be nerdy. All right, you guys.